Welcome to the Fireball Mullet channel. In today's video, we're back on the ZR2. In today's video, we're gonna finish the JL. If you saw my other video, I installed JL audio tweeters in the dash and some nice kick-ass JLs in the doors. This time we're doing some 6x9s, JL audios in the back, and then also a powered sub that's gonna be sitting in the back. And then also I'll show you the radio, the double din that we've got. You know, it's one of those things where I haven't really decided if I want to keep this thing all original and stock looking, but the speakers were blown in this, the radio, a lot of the knobs didn't really work, so I'm kind of excited to actually get some nice sound in this thing. With that though, you know, it still really looks stock. I mean, yeah, the double din doesn't look like a 2001 Blazer, but it still looks like a nice installation and pretty clean, so which I really like. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this truck yet. Am I gonna do some 35s on it, keep it stock? I don't know yet. Let's get to the installation. This thing, this sound system, the highs and the lows, man, I'm really excited about it. So anyway, let's get to it. All right guys, well, got my son. He's gonna be helping me on it. He's in town today. We're gonna be putting in, here's some of the tools I think we'll need. This is a torque bit for the seat belt. We're gonna need some of these pry tools here for the plastic panels, screwdriver Phillips, and here's a C1690. Woo! Mineral infused, that's why it's yeller like that, okay? Oops, I just broke it. Anyway, that's kind of the kit, that's it here. JL audio, baby. Get you some of this. All right, let's get it in. All right, Dylan, which side we're gonna do first? This side, the driver?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead. Take the coat hanger.
Yep.
This is kind of nice. Filming.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. That's step. All right, guys, that's step one. All right, Dylan, what is that? Is that a torque bit? Just pop that off.
Yep. Probably Loctite on it so I can't use the...
Yeah, battery's kind of weak on it too. Nice. Bam. All right, here we go. That's step two.
Yeah, it's right here, so
okay.
it's out of the way.
Yeah, so the handle on the driver's side is different. Now on the passenger side, you got this, what I call a oh shit handle, right? You grab on it, oh shit, you know? But the covers are missing off of this. You got a couple bolts here to take that off. So this side, you don't have that. So step three, done. Now, honestly, from there, it's just unclipping it, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh, we got to do the sill plate there on the where the door is. We got to take that off.
You want me to film? Or you got it?
Yep. Oh, you want to pop it? Just make sure it's popped off there. I think you can just pop off that end and we're good. Yeah. All right. And then we just start popping it off. Is it coming off? Yep. Oh, that's a separate piece. The whole bottom doesn't come off.
Yeah,
wow, okay. Right. That's different. So on this side, it's all one piece going all the way to the back. And this one is just really just a piece here. So the driver's side is a little bit easier to manage, I think. So it does look like, Dylan, what do you think about that piece?
Yeah, I mean, it actually is all one piece because this right here, you can see it's connected right. It's actually broke a little bit right here, but it is one piece here.
Yeah.
And this moves all the way back to this back piece. And this, you can see, this is just one piece here. So we actually do got to take the whole thing apart.
All right. Well, we'll do that now. All right, guys, so we got this panel. You don't have to take it completely off. You got the seatbelt that runs through it, but this is really good here. So, and these 6x9s actually just bolt in using the same screws, so you don't have to do any new holes. You don't have to do no adapter brackets. It's kind of why I went with the 6x9. You could have done a 6.5, a 5.5, a 6, but I chose to do this, so we'll see how it goes. So now,
It's the wrong bit.
we'll go ahead, take the speaker off. Just got some 1/4 inch bolts here that we need to unscrew. Put the other speaker in, put the adapter harness in for the wiring, and screw it back on.
Go ahead.
All right. Dylan's a pro laser speaker installer now. So if you need his services, it's $2.35 an hour. Dylan's from Latrobe area, Pennsylvania. He's getting ready to move to Greensburg. So he's down visiting us for the weekend. Down in Tampa, Florida. There we go. Bam. Then we unclip, push in that little thing and pull it. Maybe. There we go. Now, Crutchfield's cool. They actually give you the adapter to clip into that just as a stock, and then you just plug it into the stock speaker. So Dylan, go ahead and grab the wiring harness there. We'll go back here. All right. So we'll go ahead, use that. Yep. We'll go ahead and clip it in there, like so. Now that I'm on camera. Now the ends of that is just some spades. One's a big, one's a small, so you really can't mix it up. All right, let's grab the speaker, which is in here, in the box. Yeah, it's in the box there. Yeah, oh, there you go. Yeah, you won't need that. I think that has a ring on it too, Dylan. You don't need.
Oh, it's taped to it.
Oh yeah, you just need to take that tape off. Just pop that little ring off. I don't think we need that. Yeah, it's probably just some applications you might need it. Right. You did this part. I'll just put the JL audio. Yep.
Yeah.
Like that. There we go. Bam. There you go. That's it. That's good. Oops. Wasn't even recording. Oh. All right, we'll get the screws in. Get them started. Make a couple passes, just snug them up. Just maybe a 1/4 turn tight, but you kind of get them snug. And we'll call that done, and we'll do a test. All right, Dylan, we got it in. We just put the panel, snap that back in.
Yeah.
Reverse process. And that's actually going to show a little bit of yellow through the grill, which is, I'm fine with that. This is kind of cool, kind of unique looking, but I think this is going to sound great. So we'll go ahead and put all this trim back on, this fun trim plastic stuff. I can only tell you that it's very easy to break. So if you don't know exactly how it goes on, Dylan broke like 4 clips. No.
I did.
No, we definitely have to take your time here. If it's in the manual, check that out. If not, just take your time. And went ahead and picked up an amp install kit. Most of this came in that kit from Crutchfield. We got an 8-gauge amp wire, which will be plenty for the power sub that I end up getting, the powered sub. A little bit of loom here for this. Get underneath the firewall. Go through the firewall with this. We got a ground wire, a couple little connectors, wire, tie wraps. We got a fuse. We're going to keep that as close as we can to the battery for this. I went ahead and picked up these because so I don't have to pull the radio out. I already have a short pair of RCAs ran out, so that's behind a glove box. So I'm just gonna take these new ones and just hook it up to the existing one that I've got there, so I don't have to pull the radio out. Everything's already ready. And then I've got these twisted, really cool connectors here. I want to try those out, and these are awesome, these tappets here. I want to use that for the reverse camera, kind of tap into that. So that's kind of what we're going to be dealing with here. All right guys, kind of under the hood here, the first thing I'm going to do, 8mm here, just kind of loosen the negative cable up. We'll go ahead and take that off. You want to get that off so you don't have any live circuits there. And then I guess I'll use the eyelet for this one, if I can, straight on there maybe. Let's see how that works. So we'll do that. I'm gonna go ahead, figure out where this fuse is gonna go and connect that into it. All right guys, let me give you a little bit of an update. Went ahead, I used a different end here. Now that's not going to work on this, so I'm going to need something to kind of split off of that to kind of mount that. So I'll have to pick up, I'm not sure what to get there, but I'll have to do something different there. I went ahead, I got the fuse on, and then I went ahead and put the loom on, little tie wraps, and also heat shrink on both ends. Man, I don't like to play when it comes to power the wire, especially 8 gauge and larger. It just, you know, I just like to do whatever I can in terms of my capability, as safe as I can be here. And then we got it all loomed up, so we're gonna put it in. I think I'm gonna wrap it, take it through there, and then push it through the boot. That is, I just want to do a clean hole. That boot right there is the one we want to get through. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to make a small hole, a little less than the cable, and then maybe a little bit of silicone around it. I don't know. I also, though, I have a firewall grommet that I bought. If I wanted to just punch it through, I think it would take like a 3/4 inch drill bit. So still deciding that. All right, so I'll show you. Went ahead, got this adapter here for this, and we got the cable on there. That's kind of how we hook that up there. So pretty nice. And I just ran that around here until we got to where we came through the firewall, which is gonna be right here, right there. And I went ahead, used one of those grommets that basically is threaded, and it kind of seals against the cable there, and I'll show you what those look like here in a minute. So I went ahead, just went through the firewall there, and then caught it on the other side and just ran it down the interior of it until we got to the amp inside of it. So here's what I used to go through the firewall. I got all kinds of different sizes here. Probably one of these sizes here that I used. But basically, yeah, it's just a grommet. It has a little rubber bushing there. It seals against it. And as you tighten it in, these little fingers here will actually tighten against the wire. But I do use RTV on it as well, just to make sure we don't get any kind of fumes or anything like that passing through it. So that's really it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take you in the back here and show you this power sub that I've hooked up. Let's go back here. All right, go ahead. Spare tire out of the way. Hopefully clear my daughter's car there parked behind me. Oh man, this thing needs to be cleaned. Oh boy, look at that. Look at that, boy. Rockford Fosgate. Now this is a nice punchy bass, and what I like about it, it has all the amp hookup, all the hookups right here. So there's no separate amp. It's just all one unit. Man, this thing rips, buddy. Let me tell you, man, I love the sound of this thing. It really does. Like I said, you know, you got your standard hookups just like you do on your, you know, if you were to hook up an amp. This thing really completed the whole sound within the system and really gave it that low end. I haven't really adjusted it in, but this is basically like a truck box that you would put behind a pickup seat or something like that. But man, this thing is just rock solid, man. I mean, it just hits pretty good. You know, this thing's definitely not going to win any kind of audio awards or anything like that, but just driving this thing around, everything sounds so crisp, clean, this low end. I mean, it sounds amazing. I just can't tell you how happy I'm with it. So that's the install, guys. All right. One of the other upgrades I went ahead and did, pretty simple install. I actually paid for Crutchfield to do the little connector set to this, so it was almost plug and play on the back of this pretty much. The only thing is you got to go into the kick panel and you got to tie in one wire to the emergency brake pedal switch. So you got to do that because if you want to go into advanced settings mode, you have to actually hit the parking brake twice, and that'll allow you to do it. So, but other than that, the only other thing I had to do here was, you know, the stock radio had the bezel here, also had a separation here between the heater controls and the radio, and basically I just took a little Dremel, cut that off, and then I bought this trim plate here, which is pretty nice. I got this at Crutchfield, I think, as well. And this thing worked out pretty daggone nice, man. It looks really clean installation, and you know, I think it looks pretty stock. You know, if you didn't know what year this truck was, I mean, that looks like a pretty stock installation. So, but man, the sound in this thing is pretty incredible. I'm really loving it, man. So, you know, it's one of those things. So yeah, man, this system just turned out so nice. I'm so glad I went with it. And but look, speaking of stock, you know, from the previous video, those JL audios are also behind that, so that looks pretty stock. Also, those tweeters that I installed is kind of behind the covers, so that looks stock. So far everything's looking pretty stock, man. I mean, of course, you know your years, this doesn't obviously look stock, but I like that it looks like a clean installation. And then the rear sub, you know, all you have to do is unhook it and you've got stock looking again. So, you know, is all this stock for the most part? Yeah. Now the only other thing is you can see the yellow in those 6x9 JL audios back here. You can see the yellow in there, so you'll probably say, yeah, those aren't exactly stock, they're yellow. But I don't know, I'm not fully going for the complete stock look yet. I haven't really made up my mind, but this is definitely, man, I'm telling you, this thing, I just love driving it around. Sometimes I just drive it around the block a few times just to kind of chill out and listen to a great song. I forgot how nice it was to actually have a nice sound system. So, you know, this is something that on the iRock, you know, I didn't do a lot of the comfort stuff until last. So I'm kind of enjoying doing some of that now, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. But I love this setup. You know, and I love the CarPlay. So I've got the wire here or the USB kind of running through, and then as I kind of get in the car, you know, I just kind of hook it up, and then I've got CarPlay for Apple. I'm sure that Android is with this as well, and you know, just get all that. So man, you get all the modern, you know, you get the maps, you get all the modern stuff with CarPlay, and it just works out of the box and just brilliant. I mean, it's just awesome. And you know, it's got all kinds of cool features here. You can go, you know, do setup, you can go into sound, start getting your EQ together, bass treble. But then, like I said, I'm gonna go over here, hit this twice, And then now you can go into advanced here. You can't go into advanced unless you hit that twice. Now I can go in and set up, you know, some pretty complicated settings here that I haven't really figured out yet to figure out what I want to do. Nice EQ. You can go to each channel, each one of the bands, and kind of dial those in. But yeah, man, it's pretty sweet. You can dial this thing pretty nice. I spent some time with it, but I could probably spend another couple hours with it and try to dial it in. But you can see here, it tells you what speakers kind of highlighted as you start to adjust that. You know, again, your EQ for each one of those settings. Man, this is just fun stuff, man, that you can't really typically do in these years. So I think this is pretty worth it. I love it, man. I think it's pretty nice. So that's kind of the crossover settings there. I'll let off the brake. So let's go back to kind of the home here. So yeah, you can make calls. I actually ran the, it's kind of directional there. So I got a nice mic as I'm running down the road. It's hands-free, which is really cool. So just all the modern amenities here. And man, I gotta tell you, I'm just really happy with this setup. All right, guys, that's today's video. Comment below what you're running in your truck, man. These things are fun, man. These little, especially these little two-door Blazers, man. I've been having a blast driving it now. I got some great tunes, man. I'm kicking it up. I'm taking calls, hands-free. I got CarPlay. It's just ludicrous. Anyway, comment below and don't forget to subscribe, guys. I really appreciate the support, and we'll see you on the next video.